Hello, stalkers, and welcome to Lost in Vivo, a psychological horror game in which us, the protagonist, loses our dog, and we go on a mission, a quest, if you will, to find said service dog within the sewers. This game touches on darker themes such as fear and anxiety, claustrophobia, eating disorders, mental health, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. It is an absolute gem. Now, this is not a totally blind playthrough. I have played over the years Lost in Vivo a few times, but I don't remember it totally well. So I figured this would be a great horror game to play on the channel. I'm gonna start a run of some of the more, what I consider some of the more classic horror games. And with the release of Silent Hill F, I'd like to get into that shortly. Sooner rather than later. But Cry of Fear, Darkwood coming next. Some of the really good ones. What else? Lost in Vivo takes its name from a form of exposure therapy known as in vivo exposure therapy, in which you, the person undergoing such treatment, would expose themselves to the distressing stimuli versus trying to mitigate contact with said stimuli. This game uses 3D positional audio. The audio is horrifying, and I can't wait to get into it. Without further ado, let's start. So, how are you feeling? Do you feel these sessions are still helping? You could try something a little more direct. We could start in vivo exposure therapy. What a beautiful little corgi. This opening segment always gave me the creeps. It kind of lends credence to the idea that, you know, we didn't really lose our dog down in the sewer. The sudden change in weather, accompanied by the never-ending repetitious brick walls on either side of us, the houses, everything gives a vivarium feel to it. A very, oh, look at this on the right-hand side. Missing persons poster. But no, it gives a very liminal feel to this opening segment. Perhaps dream logic over the liminal feeling. All these cookie cutter row houses. And falling rain. I never noticed that before. Illegal experiments. Here we are, lost in a torrential downpour. I hear something swelling in our ears. And just like that, the game begins. See the rain falling from the open sewer drain. This is the last time we'll see true daylight for a while. I can't just leave. I have to find her. We do have a flashlight. This game does a tremendous job of making you feel claustrophobic. Boxed in. My madness works. Hungry demon. I remember my first time playing Lost In Vivo. I was pretty horrified by some of the graffiti. Using the spacebar, we can whistle. Whistle for our lost pup. That truly is a visceral whistle too. Our baby girl all alone in the sewer. See, it sounded like it was coming from the right. I should say my hearing is not the best, even with the game at just about full volume. I still struggle with my hearing. Oh yes, the eerie corridor of Sarah Seeds. Or the way our light reflects off the walls. Can't interact. Sounds like demonic screeching. Alright, I had to check inventory. This is a very cool inventory, reminiscent of the old Resident Evil games, Silent Hill. Game manual included, which is so cool. L-shaped flashlight. An old military flashlight. I always keep it with me in case I get trapped somewhere. I can't bear to leave the house without it. The batteries are long-lasting and had guaranteed to last all game written on the package. Very cool. Torn leash. My dog's leash. It got torn on the broken sewer grate. Keyring. And a lost tape. The pound is written on it. So, there are all sorts of secrets here in Lost In Vivo as well. Look at that. Very good. A wet sledgehammer I found in the sewers. It looks old, but it's holding up well. I think it's really neat. Of all the starting weapons in all the horror games that there have been, Lost In Vivo, the starting weapon is a sledgehammer, a full 10, possibly 12-pound sledgehammer. I like that detail quite a lot. Here we are, moving down the damp corridors. The flashlight only works to illuminate our sides. The sides of the tunnel, that is. Can barely see in front of us. And I believe, yes, I hate turning around in tunnels. I don't like tunnels to begin with, let alone cave systems, let alone artificial cave systems, which is all a sewer system is. I can feel my heart rate kind of getting up here. I should have a... You know what? Coming up, I'll do what I can to procure a heart rate monitor. Because I think that would be hilarious. Alright. As soon as we step through, it's eerily quiet. The work lights overhead, flickering in the distance. I feel like a shadow figure is going to appear at the end of the hall. Don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you. Clear your corners. Sometimes, for those of you that have ever been in a cave system, a lot of times, especially if it's pitch black and the cave system is tight, you'll turn your flashlight off because the flashlight will disorient you and make you nauseous quicker. And that's a fun little caving fact. It's a disgusting couch. I know exactly what this couch feels like. The slime and the faux leather that's been ripped off of it, exposing the underneath. But I know exactly what this couch feels like, and it's miserable. There's not much on TV nowadays, so I thought I'd make my own show. I started putting food and rancid meat in the useless old box, and all sorts of little critters would come and play. It was really relaxing to just sit on the sofa and watch them eat, but the small critters started attracting larger ones to the show. Some horrid, putrid thing kept coming by to watch, so I would just pretend to be asleep till it passed. But I think it knows I'm awake. I think it's watching me, not the show on TV. So forgive me if I developed a strange accent there. Look at that. And see the maggots moving all around. And the rotten food left behind in the television. So we have an individual here. It seems to be stalked by some type of creature. Evidence of them living here is further corroborated by the sleeping bag. My eyes are useless. All they do now is sting and show me stuff that can't be real. If that rancid thing wants them, then I say, let it have them. It's doing a great deal of world building here early on, letting us know just how dark and unforgiving this world is going to be. And locked out at the gate there. Perhaps find... No? Ah! Jesus God. Okay. Okay, just brief breather. Right here. Let's collect our thoughts. We're good. We are a sledgehammer wielding maniac. I was trying to say, look at this foreshadowing. Then he popped out. Alright. First, God bless America. Hi, baby boy. Oh, baby girl, excuse me. Where are you to go? Oh my God, that soundtrack is anxiety-inducing enough. It reminds me of a... oh, what do they go by? Look at this. It's extremely organic, whatever it is, coming out of this tube. Flashing lights behind the corner. Gated off. It reminds me so much of Silent Hill's Otherworld. Forgive me, I'll remember the artist eventually. I'll remember their music. I hate when there are gates on either side of a walkway. especially with the screams in the distance and our flashlight malfunctioning. Now, they promised that these batteries are going to last the entire game. Pile of gore on the ground. And just like the gates of hell, abandon all hope, ye who enter here. All of this imagery you see is very reminiscent of Dante Alighieri's version of hell, in which Karen, the ferryman, ferries lost souls across the river Styx, which is a poison river, into hell. Before you even get to hell, there's a journey, there's a process that allows you to be taken there, and we are crawling through the tube on our own spiritual journey to confront our demons in the most horrific way possible. You can smell these tunnels. You know exactly what these smell like just by looking at them, but you can hear things crawling and chittering all around us. Ugh. God, don't look. Don't look. Just look straight. Just look straight. Don't worry about what's behind you. And this, had I known where we were going, wow, look at that. This scene here, very reminiscent of the jaws of some creature looking to swallow us whole, with the broken wires sticking up the grate. I was expecting a cutscene. Now, we're deep within the recesses of the tunnel. You can see the rust and the mold and the grime has increased tenfold. And there's that droning once more. How far would you go for something you loved? Would you go to hell and back? See the tunnel spiraling. Our dog has quit responding to our whistles. Look at these bulbous creatures. God, and the tunnel, the way it's contorted in some places. God, it gives me a headache looking at it. Not only that, but the sound design it's like worming into my skull. Once more, let's walk by these abominations. Continue pressing on. Very disorienting. God, I can barely tell what it is underneath us. It looks like some type of organic mass writhing about. Oh, wow. Oh, I was looking at the eyeball, not the... Okay, so we received a damaged handgun. Looks like one of the Ruger like Mark series target pistols. Let's continue moving this way. Normally games only arm you when they intend for you to use them, especially survival horror games. Hello, baby girl. That's not our dog. Moving right along here. Oh, God. Look at those flowers up above. Perhaps lavender. I just know that this smells incredible. Compared to the sewer we were just in. And the candles burning. It's all got a nice light air about it. Forgive me, I was taking a bit of a rest in real life too, to stretch my neck and have a sip of some soda water here. Alright, let's save our game and get on with it. Woo, alright, Lost in Vivo. Lost in Vivo, we got this. So, this, again, lends credence to how much of what we are seeing is what we're actually seeing. How much is perceived versus reality, right? This great pattern is not only the same as the one that we jumped down earlier, when it seemed like we were being ushered directly into hell, but instead of jumping down into the inner recesses, where everything is foul, there's gunk covering the walls, foul creatures moving around. No, we just jumped down and ended up in a save room after our encounter there, which kind of leads me to believe that we knocked ourselves unconscious jumping down here. Do you see what I'm saying? We perhaps when we jumped, all that was just a dream or hallucination. But where did the pistol come from? Alright, no matter. Enough of that. Moving right along here. Handrail built into the wall. And the wall of this sewer is oddly organic looking, as well as cavernous. This looks like stone. Again with the dream logic imagery. We just pop out here in what looks like a abandoned subway station. The classic blue tile. My grandmother, when she was still around, her home, her bathroom was blue tile like this. The entire bathroom was themed with blue, green tile like that. And all the decorations were bluish green as well. And I remember that vividly. Gives me the creeps when I look at it. Kira, you have done something phenomenal with these environments. And for all the praise you've gotten, I want to add on to that praise. These interior designs are unbelievable, as well as the sound design. Truly remarkable. But enough praise. We must move forward. And just like nothing happened, here we are. Stepping out into an abandoned subway. Ooh, the monotonous hum of the vending machine. The Rise of Spooks. Anything to be seen here? No, but look at that lighting. Wow. The door is locked. And why is it covered up? Presumably, We should be looking for a key, as well as notes, collectibles, such and such. That gave me a little bit of a start. And here we go, some of the imagery. Bloated, disgust, fat, gross. Our character is suffering pretty severely with mental illness, and you can see with the imagery, a lot of this deals with eating disorders, whether it be anorexia nervosa or bulimia nervosa. A lot of the signs point to them perceiving themselves as overweight. To stop all eating, that's so unbelievably unhealthy and so unbelievably sad. Makes you think. No whistle. No whistle back is heard from our dog. Station closed. Let's open her up. Station open. Open for transit. Well, that's all there is to be seen here. All this just for us. Can walk independently here. Oh. I can't see inside. Who is conducting the train? Quite the question to be asking. Can't interact with anything laid out here. Oh, here we go. I don't want to go. I just want to stay on this train. I want to stay in the dark where no one can see me. February 14th, 2007. Is this our protagonist? Perhaps? Ooh. Nope. Can't hurt me if I put my back to the wall. God, this game is so nausea-inducing. Alright. Out we go. The express shuttle. Still can't see who is conducting the train. Move down the tracks here. I'm gonna sprint down the tracks for my own sanity. I'm gonna try not to look behind us as best we can. Alright, we're gonna immediately hop up here. Very good. Very good. The lone... the lone hallway over there. The flickering light. God, and from back here you can't see the tiles. Looks like the station expands on forever. Oh, we have another note here. I want to make a decision. I want to control I want control back in my life. I want to matter. Everybody just makes choices for me. Maybe I'll find someplace where I can be happy. Someplace dark without people to remind me how ugly I am. I'm sorry. February 14th, 2007. Once more, and I can't help but think that is our protagonist here, writing to herself, trying to keep her calm. I'm assuming it's to herself. How about we just say themselves? Let's open this scary red door here and see what we can see. Oh, look at this. More allusions to Dante Alighieri. Here you can see Dante and Virgil. Don't ask me why I know that or how I know that. I'm a massive Divine Comedy stan. My wife and I actually just got the Gustave Dior woodcutting book, like the special edition print of not only the Divine Comedy, Inferno, but Paradise Lost. There we go. Lord have mercy. My apologies. A little bit of peace. A little bit of reprieve, just for a moment. Oh, and they've got the frilly carpet in here. I love this place. Whoever designed this is... They know what comfort is, for sure. But we must not stay. We have work to do. See you there. Look at this corporate hell. Low rent hell. It's an old game called Midnight. Oh, yes. Perhaps we'll play that in the menu later. Nothing of value here for us, is there? Moving right along then. It's a key. Look at the donuts molded. The pink, presumably previously pink, bright, beautiful boxes that, would give your coworkers a bit of a smile when you come carrying them in. Now disheveled, covered in dirt and soot, rotten from the inside out. A metro key. Fantastic. Look at the reflection. How cool is that? Imagine the dream. It's early 2000s inspirational posters for this corporate hell aesthetic. This whole station is just broken. Lines are run backwards, access panels are hard to get to, and sometimes the power just cuts. Since this is considered a bad part of town, the funding for this station was minimal, and most of the construction was done by local residents. To top it off, the last maintenance guy messed up everything. He told me when he left to keep every light on, and to either redirect or send off any trains that arrived. I've made several attempts to fix the electrical problems, but it's so bad I don't think I'm getting anywhere. So, I'm leaving. This job just isn't worth the hassle anymore. And so, because we're in more of a poverty-stricken, quote-unquote, bad part of town, there's no longer any maintenance being done. Oh, look at this. We've got a map. Who knows how accurate this is going to be? Well, the power goes out on the tracks, you have to reboot the whole system. In order to do that, go to each section and turn off the breaker boxes. Then come back here and restart the system. I've barely been able to keep the power on, so that's about all the advice besides quitting I can give. Alright, so we have a mission. That's interesting. We have a mission. In order to reroute the power to the tracks, we must turn on the separate breaker boxes. And then come back here. Now we have a map, so we can move autonomously throughout. So we're there on the leftmost staircase and escalator. And we have unlocked the gate, moving right along. Alright, and if we check our map, yes, we are now in that central area. Very good. Very good, very good. Okay. Yeah, so it even says outdated here. It seems as if there are 3 breaker boxes for us to interact with. So we'll start on the right here. It says it's in that room up ahead. Now, are we going to be able to get to that room up ahead? Ooh. Pick lock set. Some lockpicks for us, yes? I have no idea what that means. Someone who is smarter than I am, please tell me. A few books about customer service. You know, for as dingy as these environments seem, the yellow lighting, as well as I mean, for me, being a Stalker fan, these gritty concrete environments aren't the worst thing possible. As well as being a Metro fan, I mean, you know, the Metro series made the Moscow subway system, the Red Line, look pretty comfortable. You know, and seeing all the modifications people do to the subway system in order to make it sustainable and livable like that, how cool. What a neat concept. I love sustainability, and I love seeing people, you know, survive against the odds, which is it's becoming a very common theme on the channel, isn't it? But, you know, I mean, outside of the rot, and this place probably smells awful, you know, it's pretty cozy. I could imagine plugging up the PlayStation 1 here, preferably the PlayStation 2, playing some SOCOM. You got a VHS slot there. You know what? This would be a fantastic place to watch some creep show. Ah, here we go again with the imagery, especially with the eating disorder imagery. You see all these different crash diets, fad diets, you know, brightly colored and trying to get everybody to fit into the same mold, which is just such an unattainable, ridiculous, and quite frankly, evil system. All right, anyways, onward we go. Okay. Ah, yes. So that door is locked from the other side. All right, I remember. We failed our lockpick. That's okay. See, what it does really good there, by forcing me to interact with the lock and face the lock, if they do that during a chase sequence, that's going to have me sweating bullets, and puking, crying, throwing up, screaming, kicking at my desk here. That's going to be really good. All right, here we are. So we just flick the breaker and get on with it. Oh, wow, there is a dramatic shift in tone. Okay. This door wasn't here before. That's worrying. Yeah, we just... Okay. Yep, just move through the gray, dark environment here. Okay, we're on a track for sure. We're definitely on rails. I know what you are. I want none of that. I'll be having none of that, please. I don't think I have a choice, do I? Okay. We have beaten that thing to death with the sledgehammer here. Oh, there's another one. Oh, for God's sakes. Alright, come on, get this frickin' lock open. Okay, what the hell? So I have already saved. Alright, so we gotta run through that all over again. Well, no, that's a wee bit frustrating. I'll see you on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, thrust back into darkness. So, we go through the door. And these enemies here, if I remember correctly, they can kind of just phase through the environment. We are on a timeline here. Alright, so we put her in the dirt. Alright, we got it open, no problem. No problem. We can outpace her. Yes, here we go. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we're safe. We have to continue forward. Alright, and that area is complete. Stepping out back into the subway station, it's just eerily quiet. So much so, I feel like I've been screaming into the microphone, but now all of a sudden, good to go. Now, I know this game prides itself on its atmospherics, as it should, and its sound design, and its audio, which are all very good. Don't get me wrong. We are running back to save, so I don't have to do this all over again in the event we die. Which, kind of strange. I don't know how the lockpicking system works. I don't know if it's, you know, always a fail first and then, you know, pick again, try again, or what. But I think we just had bad luck with the spirits the first time. So we're gonna go left this time, and it looks like a straight stretch into madness. I've said all I can say about some of this imagery. We have restrooms here. What is this? Broken restrooms. Oh boy. Alright. Let's check left first. And... Jesus. Okay. Alright. No, you don't get to do that. Oh my god. Hello. I don't know what to do. I'm not happy. I'm so ugly. And everyone treats me like I'm not even real. They're so pretty and perfect. And they all have friends. But I'm just here. 11/15/06. So this was 3 months prior, 3 months and a year prior to the notes we found earlier. And here, Mad Myrtle, the blood all over the baby changing station. So we can deduce that our character is not only struggling with an eating disorder and some body dysmorphia, but this imagery here says, what happened here? It seems like it could be dealing with topics such as miscarriage. Also very sad. Let's check the other side. I see is that a magazine on the ground? Yes, very good. Now, if we reload, do we lose? No, we do not. Okay, so we keep all the rounds. Let's play the stall game. Now I don't quite believe that they showed restraint. That's hard for me to believe. Let's get out of here, though. We didn't run into Akamanto? Oh my god, look at these bugs. They look like house centipedes. You know, the drain bugs you get, especially here in the Appalachian region in the United States. We get drain bugs all the time. Let's check this door. What's behind here? Ah, okay. So this is ultimately going to lead us towards our goal, but I want to check over here first. It's blocked. I didn't know if our character here would mention the sunlight or anything. So, wasn't this initially all about finding our dog? You know, looks can be deceiving. And Lost in Vivo certainly is a little deceptive in that way. What is in the briefcase? I wonder. There's so many briefcases. It was a slow day when it happened. Only 2 trains even stopped here, and I didn't see her until it was too late. I heard her sobbing as she walked down the tracks. I wanted to run and save her, but I could hear the train. I just waited and listened. She must have regretted it at the last moment because I heard her scream. I can't stop her. She passes through the walls. All I can do is wait and listen. Alright, so 2 things. First, that gives credence to the scream that we heard while we ourselves were riding the midnight train there. Very scary. I love a good urban legend. I really like that world building. Also, the enemies that we're fighting right now, they look like a disheveled woman floating through the walls, right? And when we kill them, they are wrapped up in a sheet or a body bag, almost like, you know, what would have happened to this character having jumped in front of the train tracks, which I don't know if you've, ever seen somebody get hit by a train, but they'll, you have to put them in pieces in a body bag. So that's a neat bit of world building there. And I'm going to stop talking about it now. Here we go. Oh, God, that sound is so anxiety-inducing. Oh, we can beat her. We can beat her. Here we go. Look at us. We are a track star. Oh, come on. You better move your feet. Okay, 2 down. He's so nice. I feel like I matter again. He makes me feel real. He tells me that I matter. He doesn't think I'm so ugly. December 1st, 2006. Seems as if our character... I'm going to continue to refer to the person writing the notes as our character. It seems as if our character has found somebody that makes them feel not quite so alone in life. Sorry about that, folks. I see that tape player over there. We'll mess around with that momentarily. I wanted to save again, just in the event that we are killed by the ghoul. But we're moving right along here. We're on to the third area. And this one looks like the big one. Probably should have done this first. I play everything. On a long enough timeline, any game that gives you a firearm to defend yourself turns into a tactical shooter. So if you start by, like here for example, you start by checking your blind corner and then coming out, you already, heck, we're barely past chapter 1 here, and we're already playing it like a tactical shooter. So, food for thought. Alright, dilapidated train car. What is that? I see something glowing ahead, and I believe that is a weapon. Oh, yes. Very cool. What is this? Damaged handgun. I wonder what it was doing down here. A shotgun. A riot police issue shotgun. It only fires rock salt rounds, so I don't think it'll do much damage. Ah, yes. I remember you. So, in some spiritual circles, it is said that salt... We're gonna reload that. Salt harms the undead. Yeah, okay, we made a critical error here. Alright, I'm gonna try to memorize this real quick. If we go to the right here, let's see if this is open. Yes. So if we go to the right and we step in, we are in the rightmost tunnel. And there's a central tunnel here. Yes? Yes, okay, so stepping out, we would go left, right. Yeah, stepping out, we would turn to our left, right, left. Left, right, left. Okay. Now, I don't totally trust that. All right, let us first check this room. Okay. Yeah, as much as I'd love to check everything out. Ah, so we have to get a key first. We can't just lockpick it. Okay, so we're gonna have to check everything out. I don't like that I can see a panel on that door for a lock. My God. You get the problema. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. We're gonna... Yeah, okay. They're arming us for bear. We're about to get into some trouble, aren't we? Broken. Okay. Perhaps the key is up here? In one of these cutouts? Yes. You heard that right. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. You heard that plain as day too, didn't you? I don't like when they start doing the grumbly groans behind us. I'm getting too comfortable with all these lights turned on. Because I know they're going to take it away from us. Alright. Once more. Wait, no. We don't need this. We need to go out to the left. And down the road here. Yes, 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 yes. This is the door we were looking for. And I am going to get our ghost blaster out here. Very nice. Alright, so what do we say? Left, right, right, left. Correct? Alright, moving right along here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's do it. You can't give your fear time to breathe. Forcing me to lockpick under pressure is one of the craziest game mechanics I have ever heard of. Oh, we must not allow our panic to win. Right. Through this door, right? Yes. Moving forward, moving right along here. Back onto the tracks. We just have a short little run ahead of us. Nope. Nope, no, 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 no. We don't have to worry about her. Oh my god. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. This back here is the way home. Everything's fine. It's the same note from before. Perhaps a new note awaits us at the bottom? And perhaps it doesn't. I am going to save again. Very good. Going to save before we go throw all these fuses. Throw all the fuses and open the metro back up. Alright, we've done all three, right? A, B, C? Yes. Boom, there we go. Lights on. And I know it's scummy, but we're going to save once more. I can't bear the thought of not using save when we need it. Here we are. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't know what it is all of a sudden. I've eaten recently. I'm not tired. Something about that enemy this time around has really, really impacted me in a negative way. But we should go ahead and play our first Lost tape, The Pound, before we continue on here. I've always liked this. Alright, so starting off here, we've got to kind of do the loop-de-loo. There we go. So you see the cages and the animals spread out in this really dark and grim environment. This is like looking at a pound itself is not, any animal shelter you go to is going to be it's going to be a very unfriendly environment, but this is very much so an animal shelter through the eyes of a disturbed individual. It's like an animal shelter with a Silent Hill aesthetic wrapped around it, you know? You have the animals crammed into cages. That orange dog that we rescue very much so being our corgi from the start of the game. You know, there's an air of sadness around it. You hear barking, but none of the animals are barking, right? All of them are sleeping or, could be worse. The walls are sheet metal, rusted, slimy sheet metal. It's very much so reminiscent of someone, someone's emotional response to an environment, like a drawing of an environment versus the environment itself. I've been in some awful places, some nasty places, and when I look back at some of these situations or environments, I see them in a different light. Much so like the protagonist here. But it's not, how do I say? It's not the physical location itself is not that dingy or not that foul. It's attaching an emotion to an image as a whole, something that Silent Hill does a really good job of. Another one I can remember is Condemned 2 Bloodshot did a really, really good job of creating environments that felt like the emotions despair and hopelessness. They create these bleak, nasty environments. Even games such as Darkwood with their really gritty mechanics and really gritty environments, that are world crafted so well, so beautifully. None of those environments really captured the feeling of an emotion like hopelessness for me. Some of the set dressing did, but not like that. Anyways, that's a whole lot of commentary for for that small segment, that mini game extra, if you will. You see shoes here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you see a bow hanging from it too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is customary to take one's shoes off in some cultures before committing suicide, right? Okay, sorry, that's this is a very serious topic, and I don't want to mean any disrespect. I had to look that up for myself. It seems as if in a lot of Japanese and Korean media, it is common for individuals who commit suicide to remove their shoes before doing so, especially before jumping in front of a train or jumping off of a building or drowning themselves. It just seems to be a trope. How much of that is applicable in real life, I don't know. I don't live in those countries, but perhaps someone can help me out here. The subway carriage is even more disheveled than it was earlier. The floor looks like it's been replaced by a leathery gore, as well as dead rats scattered about. It's grim. These nasty yellows, these pale yellows, they remind me of Hellraiser Judgment, like the color palette that was used. in that film. Oh. He makes me feel so much better sometimes, but I worry that I'm not good enough. He wants me to lose weight, and I'm really trying, but it's just so difficult. I look in the mirror and nothing's changed. 12/22/06. So, perhaps our character's partner that they met that was initially making them feel much better about themselves is no longer helping and is instead hurting. Okay, I don't like these glitches. Why are we glitching? Why is my vision glitching? Okay. Suppose I shouldn't walk off in that direction. Yeah. Alright, moving right along here. It's the first actual piece of music we've heard. We whistle, yet no one responds. Oh, wow. Okay, it looks like we've moved into an older part of the subway. Yes, indeed we have. Look at this. Grand Boleem Ave. Now, that is most definitely a play on words for bulimia. Perhaps the rats, as well as some of the garbage and the food that we've seen lying about, perhaps that's just further adding to the motive of our character believing that they're overweight. It's so sad. Alright, we saved our game. Here we go. Now, what the heck are we looking at here? It looks like an organ wrapped in barbed wire. Let's open this up here. Ah, yes. Yes. The three heads. A locked door. A puzzle, no doubt. Maybe we should use the resources that have been given to us and use our flashlight. Acid. The door feels hot. Corrosive substance. And a mirror. One of the tropes that we were continuously seeing as well is that the mirrors all seem damaged or non-reflective. Though this mirror is reflective, to an extent, like we can see the backdrop, we can't see ourselves. So perhaps intentionally the character is trying to block themselves out. The door is covered in slime, so we'll just pick up this corrosive substance here and walk right onto the door, huh? Ah, yes, we have cooked ourselves. No problem. Returning back. Yes, now you see it was all a farce. These mirrors here. I think we're going to try to jump them. Yes, I did not let them get close enough, but I believe you can see a distorted reflection within them. Something not so nice. Perhaps Gross. Disgusting. Perhaps alluding to how our character sees themselves? Yeah. You know, if I'm not too trigger happy on the next one, I'll let us look inside. What a strange design here. It's hard telling whether or not this is like a solid rock or if this is, you know, a pile of rubble. But nonetheless, a strange location for the door. It's, again, very dream-esque. This horrifying face kind of looks like a clown. I really don't like clowns. I've got some beef with clowns. And here, the impossible angles and the hard corners that lead to strange locations. I know what you are. I don't like that for a second. Page 1. Life was too harsh, love was lost forevermore. They hung from a ceiling fan, staring at the floor. Okay. Alright, so apparently that's not a spectral enemy, and I just wasted a bunch of shells. Alright, we'll keep the pistol out for now. Moving forward. First guy staring at the floor. Alright, and we are almost out of pistol rounds after encountering 2 enemies. Hopefully, they load us up here. I hate these environments. As much as I love them, I hate them. There's something about an abandoned subway system that's terrifying. Something normally bustling, filled with life, filled with people, most of all. That's just totally abandoned, stripped and devoid of life. We don't love that so much. Alright, shotgun ammo. Perfect. I heard that. They're trying to get in my head. They're already in my head. They're rattling my cage. Let's check the bathrooms here. Alright. Once more. We'll do left and right first. Yeah, these are no bathrooms I've seen before. Let's play the stall game first. Pistol in hand. Ah, page 2. Life was too harsh and a bridge was close by. They sank in water, gaping for the sky. Alright, so down, up. Oh, Jesus, God. Okay, that's my fault. Okay. That's... Everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's rats in the toilet here. What's this say? I don't know what to write. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. I don't know if it makes me happy or sad. I think we're going to have a child. January 16th, 2007. So, yes, the baby changing station was most definitely... there was most definitely deeper meaning behind that. And once more. Ooh. Some Ruger ammo. Once more, we are to play the stall game. There's no toilet in here. They have stolen the toilet completely. Why is that locked? Underneath here, you see a shard as well as some bloody bandages, perhaps suggesting self-harm. get out of here. Open sesame. Ah, yes. Very much so. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Thank you for holding there. We're moving right along. Now, it seems it is time for us to... Nope. The door is locked. Alright, so we found 2 of 3 of the freaky heads poems. Okay, we can kill those with melee. But we found 2 out of 3 of the creepy head suicide poems. Perhaps we can find some... Perhaps we can either force the combination. We're going to try that. We're going to try to force it. Hopefully we don't run into too many mirrors on the way back. I am going to pull the Ruger out just in case, though. God, you can hear that swinging. I'm half tempted to send a roundup into it. Ah, here we go. The third one. Life was too harsh. This job just wasn't fair. They laid in the assembly with a sideways stare. Alright, so down. Up. Sideways. Yes? What have we done wrong? Wow. This is a dank corridor. Ah! Our sweet little baby girl. She's back. I don't know why I tried to go the opposite direction. Okay, we can definitely hear what appears to be our dog. Yeah, of course it's locked. Is there not the... Ah, yes. They're doing the trick on me. It's all for tricks. They are messing with my head. They're gaslighting me into believing that that wasn't there. That was not there. I know it wasn't. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Yes, success. Alright, moving right along here. God, they have such oppressive audio environments, and they rip the sound away, leaving you with nothing but your footsteps. It's cruel, honestly. It's very oppressive. The darkness and the silence is oppressive. And ooh, excuse me there. My God, I had a full body chill. Huh. Remind you of anything? Crawl through, I suppose. Look at this. Looks like gross coming out of the metal itself. Very reminiscent of the opening chapter, when the world shifted around us. Perhaps this is a transition where it is leading us into some type of other world, like Silent Hill. I'm gonna have to play Silent Hill for the channel. Let me know in the comments if you would rather see the original Silent Hill, let's say, would you rather watch Homecoming, a playthrough of Silent Hill Homecoming, or would you rather watch a Silent Hill 2 remake playthrough? Because Silent Hill F is coming to the channel sooner rather than later. In a couple weeks, I plan on having that up. I still have to record it. Please let me know, though. Moving right along here. Wide, spacious rooms. We still like to kind of hug a corner so we see where we're going. Rats and bloody bandages and tight spaces. I can't stand it. Ah! God bless America. Okay, we gotta pick it up. What the heck was that? Man, I'm not built for this stuff anymore. Perhaps I could have used a melee weapon there, but man, that got me, the sound, and then not knowing where I was being damaged from. The pick broken? What do you mean the pick was broken? Oh my god, okay. Yeah, Jesus. This game thinks it's funny. Yeah, it's very funny. Why is the save room red? Oh, nonetheless, it is a save room. Save erased! Oh my god. What the hell is going on here, folks? All he talks about is how ugly I've become, how ugly I'm going to be. He tells me he's leaving. I feel so sick. He hates me now, and I have all this responsibility. All because of this parasite inside me. I didn't think this would happen. I just did what I was told. I wanted him to be happy with me. February 8th, 2007. Okay, so if you're not picking up what the game's putting down, we read notes starting on February 14th, 2007, and the character was talking about making a decision for themselves and like getting control back and power back in their lives. We later figure out that this is in relation to a child had with a partner, or a child in the process of being, you know what I'm saying. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Alright, let's hit the road. Oh my god. Whoa! Okay, so we just jumped right into a boss fight there. So how are you feeling? I feel like everyone hates me, and I hate myself. Your sense of self-worth is too influenced by body shape and weight. You don't judge others so harshly. You have worth, you have beauty, but you are unable to see it. Your vision of yourself is distorted. Then how should I fix it? If I can't fix my body, then how do I fix my vision of myself? We are working together to fix it. But I will also write you a refill for your fluoxetine. Okay, so perhaps that again was all for tricks. I believe this monster that we just saw is called the Shoggoth. Like Yog Shoggoth, the Lovecraftian being. Okay, yes, so your partner is a scumbag. And I am sorry. Perhaps this monster is a representation of our partner. Oh, yes. Yes. The dreaded hallways. Okay. Folks, my dear stalkers, thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to cut it here. I have been recording for about an hour and a half now, just over. This is Lost in Vivo. This is a fantastic psychological horror game. It does a lot of things right, especially its audio and its environmental design, in my opinion. And it touches on themes that we don't see too often. I mean, in horror games, especially psychological horror, you see a lot of themes of depression, suicide, self-harm. This one really, really sticks it with the self-harm and the eating disorders, the depression, anxiety. It does a really good job of putting you into this character's shoes. And, it's a powerful story, and it's crafted through a lot of environmental storytelling. I mean, you could breeze through this game, I'm sure, without, piecing it together, but what would be the point, So, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. More content on the way, as always. I'm trying to get a video out daily. I'm doing pretty good about it, but as you saw yesterday, we did have a little bit of a hiccup in the upload process, and that's because YouTube is still struggling to upload my videos within an hour. It's taking sometimes 2.5 hours. And some transparency with you folks out there. I like to record for about an hour and a half, sometimes more. And editing takes me every bit of 2+ hours on one of these hour and a half videos, because I have to not totally watch everything, but I don't necessarily remember where I put all my cuts. So the librarian, which I've talked about before, he says that in his recordings that he'll clap 5 times. And he's like, if you hear these weird claps, it's because I'm putting in a cut here, and it looks really distinct. And it sure does look distinct. So if you ever hear like clapping or, I miss something, it's just, I'm figuring it out. But I've talked your head off enough. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm pushing these out as fast as I can. I hope you love it. I'm having a great time. All of you are wonderful. We're growing exponentially, and I am so grateful for all of the subs. We are over 20 subs now. We have 21 at the time of recording. How joyous is that? Almost 1,000 views. Very close. Very close. So tell your friends. Tell your family. You're safe here with me. We'll go explore some creepy stuff together. All right. I'm out. And remember to mind the gap, stalkers. Mind the gap. Have a good one.